The Eurovision Song Contest. It's a state of play. It's a state of play. Get all the updates. Join the conversation with Alesia Michelle. Starting now. Oh my goodness. Hello, hello, and welcome. It is the first official Eurovision State of Play for 2026. I'm your host, Alesia Michelle. And in this program, we talk about all the latest news happening in the Eurovision world. And there's a lot of stuff that went down. It's been a long summer, but it's time. It's time. And I want to kick off because I'm going to rip the Band-Aid and we're going to talk about the new Eurovision logo. That's what we're going to kick off with because I hope that we can kind of do this simple. We could do this simple. I did do like a quick video on TikTok. If you don't follow me on TikTok, I'm Alesia Michelle everywhere. Alesia Michelle everywhere. So it's real easy to find me on channels because it's really that simple. But anyway, yes, I would like to talk a little bit about the logo. I also want to say hello, Cosmic. Let's get it. You're not late. You made it just in time. Cannot wait for Eurovision in my hometown. Tom, so much news these last few days. Archer, I miss this. You know what? I miss this too. I miss this too. It's been a long summer. Sometimes I do a little bit of content in the middle of the summer, just for those of us who need this. But this year, I really didn't. I was like, we're going to take a break and we're going to come back when it's worth it. We're going to come back when it's worth it. So, okay, let's talk about that logo. Lost Matches says the logo is fine. It matters very little. I'm mostly in this camp. I don't know that I think the logo is fine. I just think I don't care that much. I think I don't care that much. I've never been a big Eurovision like merch purchaser, but when I've done graphic design professionally, my line is always, would I put it on a t-shirt? Like if this was put on a t-shirt, would I go out to the store, buy it, and wear it? This new logo I would not wear. I'm Stevan. You know what? The general logo grew on me. It was shell shock, but I'm fine with it now. Tom says, I'm fine with the logo, but I did not appreciate the use of AI in those heart designs. Are we positive that it was used? Gospodin, I think the old logo should have been proclaimed as universal and permanent logo because of how great it is, or be modified just a bit for a refresh. I think the thing that was interesting in my opinion was, we've got a big year. It's the 70th edition of Eurovision. So I would have kept it for this year. I'm going to be honest. Like I would have kept it for this year. And then maybe after this year, go and switch to a new thing, kind of really usher in this thing that should feel like new era, new vibes. Kicking off new era, new vibes on a 70th is a little bit tricky in my mind. I like to follow timeline things like that. I'm a little bit of a nerd like that. Tuna, it's no longer a logo, but a font. If I applied to a design job with that, they would laugh at me. Okay. Rye, not fussed on logo, all about the songs. I've been consistent. I never really do a whole bunch of deep dives over here at this channel when it comes to things like the stage design, even when we were doing the slogan and stuff like that. Like that was never a thing that I really felt affected the show too deeply for the most part. The logo overall of Eurovision changing, again, it's a thing that I don't think it's going to affect the show that we're going to see. And ultimately, I come to Eurovision for the show that we're going to be seeing. Cody says, did it need to change in my opinion? No, it didn't. Does the logo change affect me? No, not at all. It's not as big a deal as some people online make it seem. So yeah, I just, let's leave that one in the dust. We talked about the logo. We got it out there. I think in my video, I was like, look, people, Let everyone have the reactions. Let everyone be really reactionary about it, and then we'll move on. Okay, well, let's move to our first bit of breaking news. This news dropped just a few hours ago. It has been confirmed by the Slovenian broadcaster that if Israel is going to be participating at Eurovision this year, they will not be participating. This is really tricky. This is really interesting because let's just talk about Slovenia in general. Slovenia is a little bit hit or miss at Eurovision, but when they hit, I really feel like they hit it. Slovenia has given us some really thoughtful, modern, interesting, innovative tracks. They've also given us some bland and some boring. They've also given us some safe, but they have given us interesting. The question that the EBU is going to have to reckon with this year, and perhaps Slovenia isn't the only country that throws kind of their name in the ring for something like this, is who you going to fight for? I mean, who is it worth it for you to fight for? As a Eurovision fan, I'll be honest, if Slovenia is giving us Zana, 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 dana, 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 prosti. Or my girl Raven, when we're getting innovative, when we're getting interesting, or Joker out, if we're getting like their top talent, because I think Slovenia actually has a really nice music scene, then I think they are definitely worth fighting for. They are. It's hard to have the conversation after what they gave us last year, and I just want to say for the record, um, I think I put it fifth. I think I put how much time do we have left together? Okay, Sebi, lighters. So I am Stefan says, bravo, Slovenia. Jordan says, so sad for Slovenia, but they were the first broadcaster to have balls to pressure the EBU. Um, what else we got? Gustav, imagine Slovenia winning. I want to go to Ljubljana. I mean, that's kind of a conversation that I think at one point we were having, where it was like Slovenia actually has the talent to possibly get it done. Are we going to let them get it done? Sort of energy. Gospodin, I totally support Slovenia. If there is no communication, why spending money on a contest whose organizers don't have answers on some questions? I think that that's real. Yeah. Gustav, we're getting like I just want to say Slovenia is a country that, like, again, when they're hitting it, when they come to play, they really, really do. And I think that they come out with entries and have artists that are interesting, they're forward thinking, and I think are good for the contest overall. And they make the competition feel better, and feel more competitive and feel exciting. I have to also say Slovenia, another Balkan, and we have seen in the past a little bit of an exodus perhaps occurring from that region. Ultimately, I don't think that that's a good narrative. Like, I just don't think that that's good for the contest in the long run. So, yeah. Bash J, I think it should be the EBU deciding who is worth it. Duh. Slovenes, I think, just want just a vote for 2 years, and they were ignored. This is true. We've talked about this in previous state of plays when the Slovenian broadcaster said, I think that we should let everybody vote. Let's just not leave this up, to the big five, or just leave this up to the reference group. So we've seen this. I am Stefan says, let's wait for 4th, 5th of December and see what happens. Ultimately, yes, we got to see what's going to happen. I don't think that there's a lot for us to unpack with this. I do think the broadcaster is doing this smartly. I think they've been very transparent about their position. They've also been very consistent, and I think they're putting their money where their mouth is, to a certain degree. Can't say the same for Iceland. Iceland every year threatens, and then we see them at the final. Well, not at the final. Then we see them at the national selection. To me, if you're going to keep poking and you're going to keep poking, you have to be able to follow through. Period. You have to follow through. What's the point in poking? Because honestly, now if Iceland comes out with an announcement at this point, I'm not believing them. I'm gonna be like, child, shut up. You know y'all gonna be there. Okay, maybe not at the final, but you will definitely be on somebody's semifinal stage if we have enough countries participating. And yes, I am Stephen Bree. We're not having semis with less than 14 countries. Be for real. Yeah, like that's what we're getting to. That's what we're getting to. So Das Mystery Man, I think the bigger, more impactful news is Spain following Slovenia's footsteps. Loris, Netherlands also want to confirm before the EBU has the talk. Yeah, also want to confirm before the EBU has the talk. So come on, like let's just see. Da, 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 da. Okay. Um but this also means chances for Kazakhstan debut are getting bigger, but at what cost? Here's the thing. They still might not let Kazakhstan come to the table, because it almost begs the question, like, if they're able to come to the table now, it's like, oh, just because everybody else decided to like RSVP no to the party. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just say that. Laura says Kazakhstan could they win, like, if they participate? We'll see. Gustav, time has to be given for the German political landscape to change and the tide to be turned in Palestine's favor there before their broadcaster will support them. Look, there's a lot of variables at play with this big news. I mean, my position is, and I think I'll reiterate it again, I think Slovenia has kind of been saying this, and now they're putting their money where their mouth is. I think that actually makes sense, instead of being, the boy who cried wolf, where you just keep saying it, but then you show up. So let's see. And I mean, for Slovenia, like, let's be real. Like, they're not a broadcaster with a ton of money like some of these other delegations. They're not. So for them, they're like, if we're going to be spending all this money and showing up, like, we want it to be worth it, and we want it to feel good. I think it's just as simple as that. Like, we want it to feel good. And I think right now, the vibe is perhaps not feeling good for them. So let's move on. Another country. Okay, Montesong. They're saying that they're going to be bringing it back. They're saying they're going to be bringing it back. I'm going to tell y'all right now. After that, after all the things that went down last year, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not following it. It's going to hit too early. I'm going to be too busy at work. I'm not going to follow it. But of course, I will be ready to receive the song, because ultimately, I really did like Nina's song, y'all. I'm not listening to a lot of the Eurovision songs from last year, just full transparency. But I put on the playlist the other day, and I'm still not. I'm still not skipping it. I wasn't really skipping it when the season was happening. I put it back on, and I'm not skipping it. Like, Montenegro is a country that, like, I want to see them do really well. Like, I want to see them do well. I really want to see them hit their stride. Do I think the national selection model is the best model for them? Honestly, no. If I were the delegation, I wouldn't spend the coins. I wouldn't spend the dollars. I would call people. I'm free. I'll listen to a couple of songs and pass on what I think would do well. Like, we should see. We should see. Gospodin, I hope Boban will finally compete after withdrawing last year. Neon Owen revenge tour to win Montesong again. I don't know if I want to see that happen, but look, anybody can get it, and I believe in a comeback. So let's see. Marco, I'm just happy that Montenegro is coming back. I was really worried that they wouldn't continue at Eurovision. Same. But I will also say, them coming back and doing a national selection, that's more money. That's more money, y'all. I don't think we have all that budget. I don't think we should do it. I don't think we should do it. Gospodin says, I think Montesong had better songs than Pazza 25 like last year, to be honest. I don't think I'm living in that world. Not if we're talking about studio cuts. No. But fair to you. Montenegro needs to be back in the final in Vienna again. Let's see. Yeah, let's let's see. Gustav, and let's leave it on a high note. Montesong was actually okay last year, or I don't know, definitely over expectations. Braden, I'm team you. Just send I can never pronounce his name, but again. I mean, but low key, maybe. Montenegro, honestly, y'all should just give us culture. Because who knows what the rest of these countries are going to give us, to be quite frank. I mean, we had a lot of native language last year and still ended up with a song in English winning. So Montenegro, if y'all just lean deep into that, that's my advice. If y'all lean deep into it, people are just going to be so hungry for it that they're like, even if the notes are a little bit bum, they might just get behind it. Even if the track is dated, they just might get behind it. But I think in order to do that, you need like a, Miss Congeniality or Mr. Riz. Like we need a performer that is dynamic, that people can connect with. Somebody who's just going to bring it back. And honestly, homeboy, he could do it. I think he could get it done. He could get it done. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Augusto, welcome back, Alesia. You've been missing these spaces. Look, I have missed you. All right. Tell us what the weather is in DR. Okay. Tell us what the weather is. Next, breaking news. Breaking news. Okay. Michael Keeley is no longer the head of delegation in Ireland. He has been in the role since 2013. Ireland's new head of delegation is Alan Tyler, currently head of entertainment and music. So let's hope that Alan's got a nice Rolodex. I mean, truly, let's hope that Alan has some nice connections and a solid Rolodex to get Ireland back on track. Y'all know my position. I have been consistent for years. I want Ireland to win again. I don't mind Ireland having the crown. I think Sweden works best when she's a step behind, when she's a little bit hungry. Okay, I would like to see Sweden in a state of desperation again because Melody Festivalen. Okay, Melody Festivalen. I want it back to its peak. Okay, I want it back to its peak. But yeah, like I have seen some people a little bit cynical about this Ireland news where they're just like, look, it's the broadcaster, it's or to I don't know what accent that was. They're a little bit cynical about it. To me, sometimes new blood is all you need. It really is simple as that. And I don't say that as a slight to Michael Keeley because I think Michael was doing a lot of fighting. But sometimes when you've been doing a lot of fighting and occupying a chair for a really long time, it becomes easier and easier to ignore you. And this goes, I think, for any professional space. It just becomes easier to disregard you, to ignore you. Sometimes just having a new voice and a different pitch and key is like, wait, who's talking now? It forces people to listen, stand up to the front of the seat. So I am in the camp of optimism with this. Period, point blank, end of. I am in the camp of optimism with this. What do y'all feel like? Gospodin should have been Dublin 2025. Gustav, Ireland, you need to beat us Swedes up. The casuals here are way too cocky. Kind of sad for him. It looks like the old HOD really tried with the limited resources they had, and the new HOD looks like to be a micromanager. I mean, how do we know that? Do we know that? I don't know. Do we know that? Jenny, the problem with Montenegro is just the music scene doesn't exist at all. They don't have artists to send to ESC. Well, we told you who to send. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, baby. Augusto, I hope that Ireland's new head of delegation does something and has the drive to win again. That's all I beg. I think, let's talk about it. I think that RTE has to move away from the Late Late Show. It is just simply not the application. You have people at home voting for the thing that works the best on the Late Late Show stage, and the Late Late Show stage is nothing like the Eurovision stage. It is not the first impression you want to give people to bode well for them. I mean, even with Bambi Thug's performance, I wouldn't say that Late Late Show performance was like, heart stopping or anything, but it showed us enough of the ingredients to where I was like, I have faith that this will do well on the Eurovision stage. And I think Bambi had vision. If people at home are but I can't fault a casual viewer from going, oh, a Bobby Arlo, like, oh, I could barely hear them, like I could barely hear it, like where's the set pieces, blah blah blah, and then looking at Leica, which didn't need a lot, but guess what happened? We put it on the Eurovision stage, and we just had Emmy standing in one place with like an LED screen behind her. It was not enough. It was not enough. It just wasn't. So I think Ireland, we have to get rid of the Late Late Show. Period. Period. I'd almost be down again. I think my suggestion for Ireland is just do what the Czech Republic was doing. Make people do live performances in a sound stage. Have people vote online. The model is already there. We didn't need you to like bring back no. And then if the broadcaster is insistent upon having this happen at the Late Late Show, get rid of the panel. They don't know what they're talking about. It's infuriating. It's no. Like just oh. Okay. Braden says this could go two ways. They're either going to maybe actually get an icon like Bambi Thug, or they're going to get Samantha Mumba. Oof. Liam, just internally select Bastille and have the Irish audience and jury choose the song. I'm not opposed to like a big name. I'm not opposed to a big name, but we cannot have the big name go, we're making a song for Eurovision. No, we need regular tracks that you would put on your album. The minute you have these people go into the studio going, we're making for Eurovision, you get garbage. Like, let's not even waste the time on that. So period. What else? Loris agree, and in the late song, Loris, if Ireland would send maybe Irish folk music, they could do really well. Well, remember the people on the panel were talking about, oh, I don't think Europe wants that from us, and that's why we didn't get fire. Yeah, that's why that's why we actually didn't get fire, which I think fire could have qualified. I actually think most of the songs at the national selection last year could have qualified other than Samantha Mumba's song. Like Leica, although I liked it, everyone knows I liked it, Aqua throwback. I think we all were in agreement that that was probably like one of the weaker songs to be sending to Eurovision. We all ended up being able to say, I told you so. I think we all ended up being able to say, I told you so. Marky says, I think Baltic win is next. They've given us given us most diversity. Yeah, but we have to have them juries actually like reward. I mean, I think that's the challenge we've been facing. Gospoda and Ireland had options. They absolutely had options. Yeah. Braden, actually just get rid of the panel because some of the panelists had absolutely no qualifications. I mean, yeah, I stand by that. Nanolo, I like Agi's song last year. Guess what? Agi's song was on my regular playlist. Like a party made sense on that night. Well, guess what? That night was not the Eurovision Song Contest night. That's what everybody was trying to tell them. Everybody was trying to tell you. We all warned you. Nobody listened. No one listened. Okay. Well, ultimately, I'm optimistic for Ireland. I really, really am. But to be fair, I'm probably always optimistic for Ireland. I really, really want to see Ireland come to glory. The music scene and the talent there is just too good for them to not be better at Eurovision. Full stop. Okay, let's talk about the other news. We had some big news. So Celine Dion confirmed that she was scheduled to perform at Eurovision, but unfortunately her health issues ended up taking away. Let me just say this. This year at Eurovision, and I put this in my 10 things video, I want big names at Eurovision on the stage this year. I want to see big names and unusual people or atypical people talking about Eurovision online this year. That's what I want. This should feel like an atypical year. This should feel like a banner drop moment. We don't have time for distractions. We don't have time for BS. We don't have time for mess. Like we just don't. Like this needs to be a capstone cornerstone piece where all of the various participating broadcasters can look back on and say like this is a great show. Obviously, I had a candle lit for Celine Dion. Celine Dion being on the stage last year. I mean, health issues are health issues. Like, I'm just glad that the broadcaster at least tried. I think that was the thing, because I think there were some people who might have even just not even bothered to try, wouldn't have even made the ask. This year is the 70th. We cannot not bother to ask. We need to make the ask to these people. Like we need to. It's worth it. This is going to be and should be a big banner year for the European Broadcasting Union and all of the various participating broadcasters. I want big names on the stage. I want some big names, and they don't have to be participating. I want real tributes to the retrospective of Eurovision. I think the Austrian broadcaster has it in them. I think they can do it. I think they can do it. I have no faith in hosting, and I'll tell you. Let me make my. I'm going to make my claim now. I don't think we should be having Austrian-based talent hosting the show this year. Some people are talking about Conchita. I saw in the comments some people were talking about that. I don't think we need Austrian-based talent hosting Eurovision this year. It's a capstone year. It's a big year. I think we should bring back all of our really good hosts and have like a mega mix super team of hosts. We could have one set of hosts for semi one, if we get semis. We could have another set of hosts for semi two. We could have a whole different set of hosts for the grand final. This needs to feel like a big addition. Like a big addition. All hands on deck. All hands on deck. Braden says, since you're talking about this needing to be a big year in terms of production, how do you feel about the Austrian broadcaster saying they're shrinking the production budget? I'm saying, I think some of this talent, you need to show up. Some of this talent that owes your career and any little bit of crumb of fame that you have to the EBU, we don't need to pay you. You should be thanking us. I'm gonna be real. Like, I think that these people need to be coming back. I think, yeah, we can get hotels and stuff like that. We have to cover travel, but honorariums and like fees, I don't think that this is the year for that. And anybody wants to be like, oh, well, they said that they weren't going to pay me, so I'm not going to be there. Baby, you wouldn't even have the money that you got if it weren't for them. That's the attitude. I think that that's the attitude. Like, although I believe in labor and paying people for their wages, I do believe that there are moments where it's just like, no, like we got to show up. We've got to we've got to turn this ship around. We've got to turn this ship around. Okay. I am Stefan. We wheel out Petra and Hazel. I mean, I'm like, Philomena, like, let's bring back the people who are good. Yeah. Gospodin, there are circulating rumors Athena is shortlisted to represent Cyprus. Aren't there always rumors about like I believe it when I see it. Yeah, bring in Hazel again, Petra and Hannah together. Could you imagine? Someone said, hold on real quick. What do you mean if we get semis? What do you mean? Well, we have to have enough countries participating for us to have semifinals. We have to have enough. Yeah. Das Mystery Man. I don't think they would do a retrospective because when they last hosted 10 years ago, there wasn't that. It would be nice if they will. Guess what? New team. I'm sure there's new staff people. Just because they didn't do it in 2015 doesn't mean they can't do it this time, because we're telling you is what we want. Viewers. And also, this could be a time, like, think about this as a reset. Think about bringing people in. You want to bring people in with no foundation? You got to give them a foundation. Come on, let's do it. Peter says, to be honest, I don't want Conchita to host. It was messy even during the Luxembourg Song Contest. Like, the thing is, this is what happens when you kind of overexpose yourself in a community, Conchita, because in theory, if we hadn't if we hadn't experienced Conchita so much in recent years, I think it would have made sense to have Conchita part of like a short list. At this point, I'm team, let's just bring back our best host. That's really where I'm living. Someone said Graham Norton. I'm putting Graham on the list. I'm putting Graham on the list. Graham is known worldwide, baby. Graham needs to be at the big show. Okay? Artur, yeah, double down on the actual contest instead of producing a separate mediocre show, just like they did 20 and 10 years ago. Gosponen, I don't expect the show to be groundbreaking, but Vienna is going to be very practical and the prices will be solid. We'll see. So yeah. Evil Spirit, Austria, be grateful. We own you. We're your mama. Pay up. Ooh. So I'm Stefan said, actually, the entire core team from 2015 is back for 2026. Yeah, but you've got it's different vibes. Just because they're back doesn't mean they're going to do the same thing over again. I'm a human, not a stone. I can make a change and grow wherever I want to. Will you be there? I'm not planning to go at all. I am, yeah, I'm not planning to go at all. Um, okay. And then Gustav says, no, we need Austrians in my humble opinion, not famous people, just good host, professional and proper people, and maybe someone funny too. Honestly, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I have no faith. Sorry, I have no faith. Do y'all know Eurovision 2015 is one of my, like, for people who are long time viewers, it is one of my, like, I don't think I have ever gone back and watched Eurovision 2015. I found the shows to be so boring. I don't even love the playlist that much. Like, I don't. 2015 is like easily one of my least favorite years, like holistically, from hosting to the songs to the stage, like everything. I mean, I watched it live. Don't get me wrong. Like, I totally watched it live. I totally followed along, but just definitely one of my least favorite editions. So yeah. So some people agree with me. Um, I'm Stevan. You know, the funny thing is, I'm like, you must be joking, but I know that you're not. Rye Bailey, 2015, 2017, worse. Like, to me, 2017, I prefer the playlist. I prefer the playlist, but 2015 for me, everything was like, thank God, let's move on. And then we get the palate cleanser of like Stockholm in 2016, which I loved. So yeah. And then Arthur says, like, sandwich between two great editions. I like 2014. 2014 is a year I do revisit. Just throwing it just throwing it out there. Philip says they better not fumble the stage design this time. But Claudia says, I liked the stage in 2015. Hosts were so cringe though. Yeah, I just, you know, and so yeah, let's talk about how we're feeling about Eurovision. I'm just going to talk to y'all in the comments. There's not too many of us here, so we can have a really good conversation. Yeah, I have no plans on going to Austria this year. There are direct flights from the States to Vienna, but I have no plans. I have no plans. I don't know where I'm going to be in the world. I don't even know if my city will still be existing. I don't even know if we'll be able to leave. We might not be able to get out. Yeah, so Rita Brown, I like 2015. There were some good songs, but then again, I don't think I watched it live because it was harder to watch live here in America back then. I just watched the YouTube video. Actually, it was way easier to watch it then because you could just watch it live on YouTube. It was way easier. Now you have to have a Peacock subscription. I have one. Yeah. Jordan says, Alesia, what do you think of a desk, Portugal song being the viral song of ESC 20? But it's not. Espresso macchiato. Y'all like deleting that espresso macchiato, and Bista Barabastu has like the most streams. But I mean, everybody knows how I feel about Portugal. I was listening to the whole CD. So when I say I wasn't listening to like the Eurovision playlist that much after last year, y'all know I was still listening to the Festival da Canção playlist. Please know me. Know me. So I liked the song. I was worried for it. But I think even in my video, I think I had hope for Portugal, even when some folks didn't have hope. I think I did. Bash J, it's interesting we have no artist announcements yet, especially from Belgium or Cyprus. Honestly, I prefer it. Just wait. Just wait. Because we got Adonis really early last year too. Just wait. There's no point. We can talk about it in 2026. Like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this like early season kind of sneaking up that folks are doing, because ultimately I don't think it's necessarily even the best strategic decision to make, because then people can have fatigue from you. Like, unless you really have like a tight media game planned or some type of like live performances like planned on the backside of it, I just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. Braden, y'all manifest good vibes for us American folks at LMAO. Tom, I'm sad that Slovakia aren't returning. They could literally walk to the contest from Bratislava. Das Mystery Man, I'm planning to go to Vienna, but not specifically for Eurovision because I don't know the cost. Probably I might go on Eurovision week at the end. I'll have to see. Black Bean Paste, to be honest, I don't know how to feel. I want to be excited, but maybe it's way too early still. Yeah, and we have no information. Like, it's nothing really to pique us to like want to kind of go and be there and experience it live. 2015 was the first contest streamed on YouTube, right? No. 2014 was on YouTube. I watched with my Google Chromecast 2014 live. Yeah. Philip, Vienna has a nice advantage of being close to Bruno, and I'm definitely not pronouncing that correctly, in Czechia, and Bratislava in Slovenia. Revolution 909, with increasing predictability for our winners, jury, winner, or a certain country, is your interest in the contest waning? Do you think the general public interest is waning? I don't think that we can say general public interest is waning if they're still hitting like record numbers of viewership. So I don't think that we can say that. But I do think that they are making a turn away from like their core base and moving to more general public, casual viewer interests. So I think there are some decisions there. Gozi, honestly, yeah, let's save the money for something else, or hopefully Eastern European winner. It's about time we get another one. Um, Rita, yeah, I can't remember that they had a live stream. I was just a teenager though, so I don't think I tried that hard to watch it live. Loris, when do you think we'll get the first artist announcement? I think it's possible end of this month or early October. I don't know that I love that, but I think it's possible. It's totally possible. Um, and Frederick, have you retrospectively warmed up to Lucio Corsi's song? I mean, I think I said it was like one of my biggest growers last year, but I haven't revisited the song since Eurovision ended. Um, uh, Gene, Belgium is definitely waiting for the December meeting. Are they really? But Belgium is like locked in. Belgium's going to be at Eurovision this year. They're going to be in Vienna. So, yeah. Arthur says, I don't mind artist reveals, but maybe keep your songs a secret until January at least. Maybe. Bash J, how do you feel about Austria doing a national final for the first time since 2016? I don't love it. Last year we had way too many national selections, and it seems like everyone wants to keep it going. So, like, Marquee, Esti Lau season starting soon. I am going to be following Esti Lau this year. I'm going back to like my roots, y'all. Esti Lau I always kind of followed, and then I had years where I was like, I'm going to sit this one out because Esti Lau typically doesn't pick what I like. Typically doesn't pick the ones, but I will also say, to be fair to the Estonian voting public, I think they sometimes, like, the studio cuts are really good and the staging doesn't always come together. The live vocals don't always come together. But I will be following SD Loud this year, and I will be jamming to the playlist. And I am most likely going to be following Supernova, Latvia. Latvia, the playlist was decent last year. Like, it was really good. I didn't get to watch all of the shows, but I was pleased. So I'm going to stick with, I think, Estonia and Latvia for like the early season. You know, the ones that kind of drop the songs a little bit earlier. For us, Frederick, will you skip Benidorm 2026? We'll see. Like, if something is piquing my interest, because I mean, look, I would love Spain to win Eurovision soon. And I mean, we've had Benidorm good. Last year was not good, and I don't think that they made the right choice either. I think they had better options. So yeah, Gospel, and I need a more mainstream song to win next year. I don't. We've had plenty of that. We've had plenty of that. I need like Albania last year to win this year to renew my faith in the contest. I need something. Um, Marky, Feek, and Estee Lauer are right around the corner. Yes, I'm probably not going to follow Feek this year, but it depends. If I get that early reaction and it's like, oh no, we got banger after banger, I can be convinced. I can completely, I can completely be convinced. Claudia, I'm just so excited to experience Eurovision in the city I live at for the first time. Moved to Vienna in 2016, so I missed it last time. Marky, do you still hate Espresso Macchiato? I never hated the song. Go back and watch the reaction. I never hated the song. I felt disrespected by the performance. And I thought they were stronger. I thought they were better songs, like even from the execution that I preferred. But I never hated the song. Check the roll the footage. Augusto, I hope all announcements get delayed until a decision regarding a certain country are made. Again, I hope. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Revolution 909 Vienna has great rail connections with continental Europe with their popular national rail carrier. So hopefully a lot of people show up. I don't think they will. I don't know why. Maybe they will. I don't know. I don't know. Last year was mild too. So I don't know. I view the Espresso Macchiato studio track and live performance as two different entities. Um, Dolphin, we need Jelko to return as a songwriter for 2026. I don't care how. Do we? I am Stevan. I think a lot of people will show up. Vienna is kind of the heart of Europe. Okay. And Felix, well, they delayed the time period to withdraw, so the decision about that country is definitely taken into consideration. Look, I'm thinking this is going to be an interesting year. Again, my biggest thing, and it was my 10th thing in my 10 things I don't want to see at Eurovision. If you haven't checked it out, please check it out. But my thing that I wanted to end with was this year should not feel like business as usual, because it's not. It is not business as usual. This is the 70th edition of the Eurovision Song Contest, and I want it to feel like that. If you haven't already, please like this video. Please do subscribe. I have more content coming for you. Thank you so much for watching. Buckle up, y'all. Yeah, there's more content coming. Buckle up. Thank you for watching. Bye.